Makim. All praise, honor, glory goes to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakakodash. All right, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the Akim out there pushing his word in truth, sincerity. All right, so we got before camp, we just want to do a quick lesson about Babylon just going down. You know, we just gonna get right to the point. Go ahead.
It's Jeremiah 50 and 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder?
Yeah, the hammer of the whole earth is talking about America. All right, which is ran by the so-called white man himself, the biblical Edomites. All right, when you use a hammer, you beat things, and that's how the so-called white man was able to establish power and rulership around the whole planet Earth, was by the force of the sword, which was his blessing, and that's how we know. That's a sign of how we know that Esau, so-called white man, is Esau in the scriptures. All right, because he's the sword, he's the hammer. Go ahead.
It says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken?
How is it broken? Now you're starting to see Esau's power diminish. Okay, all these different nations, they're taking up parables against him. Okay, they're saying woe to you. They're calling him great Satan. They have all these proverbs and these bywords. Okay, we get that in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, but just bring out whichever you got.
Continue on. This is it says, how is Babylon become a desolation among the nations?
How has it become a desolation amongst the nations? And we're coming into that time where it's going to be fully desolate, meaning it's going to be totally wasted and destroyed, and no man is going to dwell here on the soils of America. All right, it's going to have wild beasts here, lizards and doleful creatures, like the scriptures say. Okay, because of the wickedness, because of the violence of the land. Okay, because of the so-called white man, how he went around the whole world raping, robbing, murdering. Okay, putting hell upon our people. All right, all these things are going to fall upon you. Go ahead.
I have laid a snare for thee.
I laid a snare. The Most High, Yah Ba'Shem Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakodash, he laid a trap for you so-called white people, man. He laid a trap for you Edomites. Go ahead.
And thou art also taken.
And you're taken. There's no way that you can get out of this rapid spiraling decline of the infrastructure of world politics. Okay, of this encroaching war. Okay, all the nations are looking down upon you. Okay, go ahead.
O Babylon, and thou wast not aware, thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord.
Because thou hast striven against the Lord. Okay, you thought that you were all together. You thought the Most High was all together with you. Okay, you took the Bible in your hands. It's like you took the Bible in your hands. You said you're the children of God, and then you commenced to put the actual children of the Most High in a hardcore bondage, in a hardcore slavery. And get Isaiah 47 real quick. I think it's 47 and 6 or 8 or something like that. How how they didn't have any mercy on the ancient, man. Just real quick.
Isaiah 47 and
it says that how you didn't have right there.
Okay.
Yeah, this one right there, verse 6.
Isaiah 47 and 6. I was wroth with my people.
Yeah, so the Lord, he was wroth with us. We understand that because we went off. We broke the law, statute, commandments, and that was part of the contract that we had. So the Lord, he put us in captivity. He put us under the hands of you so-called white people. Go ahead.
I have polluted mine inheritance.
Yeah, we have been polluted as a people. Now we're raising back up. We understand that, and we're in a beautiful time. Go ahead.
And giving them into thine hand, thou didst show them no mercy.
Yeah, you showed us no mercy. Okay? You showed us no mercy, and we see that to this day.
Yep.
All right, you got Jake all on drugs. Okay? You got Jake all bugged out of their mind. All right, we were having a conversation earlier how you were experimenting on our people, man. All these technological medical advancements in surgery. Okay, you perfected that during the time when you had us in hardcore bondage. Go ahead.
Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke.
Yeah, that's right. Go back to back to Jeremiah.
Jeremiah 50 and 25. The Lord hath opened his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation.
Yeah, the weapons of his indignation are going into them nuclear missiles. Okay, the Lord's armory. He set you so-called white people up. He gave you this technology. Okay, the technology of the split the atom. Okay, to make nuclear fusion, nuclear fission. Okay, to able to create this ICBM. All All right, and you got Russia. They got nuclear missiles that can go past your nuclear missile defense systems. All right, so there's no possible way that the so-called white man can get out of this trap, out of this snare. All right, he's literally caught in this snare, and he's trying to find every way to finesse his way out of it. But it's already written in the scriptures that you have to go through this judgment. You have to drink of this cup, man. All right, you have to drink the dregs. All right, and you're going to be forced to drink this cup. You're not gonna know how this calamity is going to come upon you. It's going to come upon you really rapidly, very fast. Go ahead.
It says, and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation.
Yeah, the weapons of his indignation, the nuclear missiles. Go ahead.
For this is the work of the Lord power of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans.
Get Isaiah 34:5 real quick. Yeah, so all you so-called white people, you're going into captivity, you're going into slavery. Okay, go ahead.
Isaiah 34:5. My sword shall be bathed in heaven.
My sword shall be bathed in heaven. What is it talking about? It's talking about the nuclear missiles. Okay? The ICBM missiles. He said, my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Go ahead.
Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
It shall come upon Idumea, man. That's a Greek way of saying Edom, man. Yep. So there's no possible way that the so-called white man could finagle his way out of being the Edomites. Okay? And there's no possible way that you can pay off anybody. All right, you can set up Israelite groups to say that you're not the so-called white man, you're the Arabs. It's still, the prophecy's still here, man. You can't get past the prophecy. Go ahead.
And upon the people of my curse to judgment.
Yeah, upon the people of my curse to judgment. So you are actually the people of the Lord's curse. Okay? You're the people of the Lord's curse. We have been curse has been put upon us, but we are not a cursed people. If you look at all these curses, they're starting to come up and starting to fall upon all our enemies. Get Deuteronomy 30:7, just real quick, and then we'll end it off on Malachi 4:1, unless you got something else.
Okay, it's Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. It says, and Moses, Deuteronomy 30:7, and the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies.
Yeah, all these curses upon our enemies. All right, hey, put the camera over there, man. You see none but Edomites on the oids, man, on the opioids, right? The opioids is hitting Esau harder than as crack hit the crack epidemic in the 90s, man. Hit Jake. Okay, read that again.
And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies.
Yeah, go and read Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, starting at the 15th all the way down to the 68th verse. All right. You're gonna, all those curses are gonna befall you, and we're starting to see that. All right, you're on drugs. Your woman is against you. Okay, the other Edomite nations, they're against you. Okay, your infrastructure is crumbling. All right, you're going out of business. Okay, at a rapid spiraling decline, man. Okay.
Everything in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the 15th verse on down, all those curses are falling upon you, you know. And everything from the first verse to the 14th verse, that's gonna fall on us. You know, they call it trading places, a role reversal. You know,
that's right. A paradigm shift.
Yep.
Okay, there's a change of power. There's a change in the guard. Go ahead.
It says, "And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies, and on them that hate thee."
Them that hate us, and the so-called white man, he hates us, man. Look, and he shows this day in and day out the amount of hatred that he has towards you, Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. All right, telling you Hispanics to go. This is not your country. To go back to Mexico. Okay, he's calling you so-called black niggas and spics. All right, he's protesting the new movies like Black Panther. All right, that's not even a real movie. This is all fiction. But that just goes to show you that how much hatred he has for his brother, Jacob, man.
He hates to see Jake in a state of unity, brotherhood. You know?
That's right.
That movie, it was all bullshit, but it showed you Jake is some form of power, you know. And then Esau knows that once we come back to serving our power, he's through. You know?
Yep, he's through.
So his whole goal is he hates to see Jake in that state of mind of like unity, you know.
Because once we get in order, once we come into power, he has to go down. That's the way that the world works. So he's fighting tooth and nail for him not to go down in this kingdom, man. He doesn't want to fall. He wants to hold on to this rulership as much as possible, to the point to where he's going to try to destroy the whole earth before try to destroy the whole earth before he gives us power, man. Before that power is taken away from him. That's the type of mind frame and diabolical the so-called white man, and demented and twisted and perverse and crooked that the so-called white man in his head. He will destroy the earth before he allows the black, Hispanic, and Native American to come into power. Okay?
Pretty much in his mind, if I can't have it, none of y'all can have it.
Exactly.
But that's why I got a precept for you. This Matthew 24 and 22. And except those days be shortened, except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved.
And what are those days talking about? It's talking about the days right now, the last days. All right. Except those days should be shortened, meaning the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, he's speeding up the prophecies. He's actually speeding up the days, and brothers feel it through the Spirit. Yeah. Okay. And for except those days should be shortened, continue.
It says, and except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved.
There shall no flesh be saved. Why? Because the so-called white man will destroy everything, man. Yeah. He has destroyed the earth. We're literally walking on artificial rocks, all right, which is cement. We see that if you see the infrastructure of America, it's what? It's like the cliffs of the rocks. Okay, you just had that bridge fall. Okay, so they just put the bridge up and it's falling, man. All right, the Most High, he's totally destroying the so-called white man's power structure. He's totally destroying all levels of infrastructure. Okay, from the political to the medical. Okay, to the education, to morality. Okay, everything is crumbling. Go ahead.
But for the elect's sake, those days should be short.
Yeah, for the elect's sake, for the hopeful elect, which we pray that we are part of the hopeful elect, and we are doing what the elect will be doing. So the Lord, he's shortening up the time for us. Yep. Okay, his holy prophets. All right.
I got a quick precept. It's Job 14 and 5. Seeing his days are determined.
Seeing his days are determined.
The number of his months are with thee.
The number of his months are with thee, meaning it's going to go ahead. Go ahead.
Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Get Job 18 and 5. Because there's a certain time frame that the so-called white man is going to rule. To that very second, he's going to fall, man. In a very instant, it says, the scriptures say that in 1 hour, man. In 1 hour, all these great riches are going to be destroyed. Okay. All the things since you pretty much you labor from your youth up, is going to be destroyed in 1 hour. Yep. By them thermonuclear missiles, man. By the Lord's arsenal, by his army, man. 200 million missiles. Revelation, the 9th chapter talks about that, and it goes into how those missiles look, okay, and how they hurt, how they're going to destroy, okay. Isaiah the 13th chapter talks about how it's going to ravage your women. It's going to come into your houses. Okay, that's talking about the destruction of the so-called white man and his power structure. Okay, and 2/3 of our people that adhere, that are joined hand in hand. You got a precept?
Yeah, I got a few. I'm gonna get what you call for. This Job 18 and 5. Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out.
Yeah, the light of the wicked, and light the Lucifer, which the light that's on this world now, coming from the elites, is a light of darkness. All right, it's a light of it's like a black light. All right, it's a light to the distraction from the reality of things. But it says the light of the wicked, was the wicked goes into the so-called elite banking families. All right, and all you Edomites going all the way down. Go ahead.
And the spark of his fire shall not shine.
Yeah, the spark of his fire shall not shine, meaning it's going to be put out. It's going to be stomped out, man. All right, when Yahushua comes back here, and that's the prophecy, man. Now he's going to pretty much beat and powder all the other nations. All right, he's going to put in subjugation all the other nations, and and the scripture said we're going to be joint heirs with him. We're going to be doing the same thing with him, man. All right, subduing all the nations. All right, putting the earth back into its natural state of being a paradise. All right, and you so-called white people going into your back into what you were created to be. Okay, a slave.
The basis of men, the lowest pieces of shit on the earth.
That's right.
You know? I got another precept for you. This Romans 9 and 22. What if the Most High, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessel of wrath fitted to destruction?
Yeah, the Most High, because he's bound by his prophecy, okay? Since the Most High is bound by his prophecy, he endured the so-called white man putting all his hell upon us. Go ahead.
And that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessel of mercy.
The vessel of mercy. We're the vessel of mercy. Go ahead.
Which he had afore prepared unto glory.
Yeah, because this is all already prepared for us. The kingdom is already prepared for us, man. What did Yahushua tell his disciples? What did John the Baptist? What was he saying? The kingdom is at hand, right? The kingdom is at hand right now. The kingdom started with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and then that's going to physically manifest itself to where we coming off them chariots, man. When New Jerusalem is established, okay?
And then you read up, the scripture said, what if the Most High, willing to make his power known, suffered the vessel of wrath? I'm going to just read it.
Yeah, kind of.
What if the Most High, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endureth with much long suffering, the vessel of wrath fitted to destruction. So the Heavenly Father has you so-called white people in the position that you are, just to show his power, you know? That's how he does it. He raised you up. He'll put all this glory upon you just to smash your ass, you know? That's the Heavenly Father. He did that during the time of ancient Egypt, you know?
That's right.
Which we're living in the modern day Egypt. He let you so-called white people get all this technology, the missiles, your battleships, all this, just so he can smash your ass, you know? That's right. In the end, that to show his power.
You got a precept?
Go
ahead.
It's Proverbs 16:4. The Lord have made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
Yep. The wicked for the day of evil. Read it again one more time.
Yep. The Lord have made all things for himself.
Yeah, the Lord have made all things for himself. So this is all about the Lord. Okay, this is all about magnifying the Lord. And the Lord, he created the so-called white man for a particular reason, and it's going to go into it. Go ahead.
Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
Yeah, in the day of evil, the word evil, okay, going to a bad time when you go into the I believe it's Latin. Okay, when you go into a bad time, and we're coming into those bad times. The ultimate bad time, the climax of that, right, is going to be when those nuclear missiles be shot off, and they're not going to turn back. Everyone is going to fall into his rank. All right, or they're going to go directly where the Most High wants it to be. All right, and he's going to actually be in that fire, man. All right, because is not the Lord pure energy? Okay, is he not a consuming fire like the scriptures talk about? All right, you got another precept. We can start wrapping it up.
Okay, yeah, we can just get right to the point. Psalm 75:4. I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked lift not up thy horn. The horn.
Yeah, the horn represents power. Read that again from the top.
I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly.
Yeah, the fools is talking about you so-called white people, the foolish. Go ahead.
And to the wicked, lift not up the horn.
Hey, stop being proud. Okay, go ahead.
Lift not up your horn on high. Speak not with a stiff neck.
Yeah, and that's the so-called white man. He can't do wrong. All right, he's the face of beauty. He's the face of reasoning, of science. He knows exactly how long the earth was. How long the earth is, when it was created.
Yeah.
He goes and manipulates genes. He can tell you this, he can tell you that. Like he knows everything.
Like you the great mind of everything. Like you had that fucking the foreign motherfucker that just got put to death. What's his name? Stephen Hawking.
Yep.
Here it is. You supposed to know all this great science, the Big Bang, how the earth was created, but you can't figure out how to get your ass out the fucking wheelchair, you know? But he's some great scientist, you know?
Yeah, that's the hypocrisy of the so-called white man. Which that was all.
That was a fucking joke.
That was a joke. That was an elite joke. Okay, go ahead.
It says, "Lift not up your horn on high. Speak not with a stiff neck."
Yeah, speak not with a stiff neck. When you got a stiff neck, meaning you're very prideful. All right, you're very prideful. Nobody can tell you anything. Nobody can tell you that you're wrong. And that's the so-called white man. He has his analysts, his so-called psychiatrists. These people that go to these different colleges, that go through the maze of going to a college, and then they come out with these different things, these different theories, and then that's supposed to be the law because the so-called white man said it was. The so-called white man said that it was true.
Yep.
All right, when everything that he says is actually a lie. All right, everything that he portrays and pushes out is actually disinformation. It's actually fake news. Okay, he says you blacks and Hispanics were just nothing but niggas, spics, wetback. He said you're not the children of God. All right, he called us black. He called us African American. We're the Israelites. Okay, he puts us in the ghettos, and he says, you know what? The reason why you're in this situation is because you're lazy. You don't want to work. All you got to do is just go to school. All you got to do is just buy into my system. You got to drink my wine. But look what happened. Look what has happened when we drink that wine of Babylon, man. We get totally destroyed. All right, he wants us to cast off our ways and become an Edomite. What's Edomite? An Edomite is pretty much destroying yourself, man.
Ways of death.
It's a way of death. It's casting off all righteousness and walking in a way of perverseness and darkness. Okay, go ahead.
For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, But the Most High is the judge. He put up down one and set up another.
He put up down one, and he set up another. Okay? Who is he putting down right now, right before our eyes? If you get that in Sirach, the 10th chapter, I believe it's at the start of the 6th verse, where it says pride is hateful amongst the Most High and men. I believe that's 10.
Sirach 10 and Sirach.
I had a precept.
Oh yeah, go ahead, bring out precept.
It's Jeremiah 49 and 16. Thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
Yeah, you damn devils, man. You have a proudful look on you, because you knew the history how you were up in the cliffs of the rocks. You were in those caves. You didn't know a language, but then the Lord he raised you up, man. You shouldn't be proud that the Lord raised you up, right? He raised you up, but he's gonna crash you down.
Yeah, to show his power.
Just like you read earlier, to show the Lord's power, man. Or just like he raised up Pharaoh, man, to show his power. Go ahead.
That holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle.
And how, because he went into the atmosphere, he has the space programs. You have Trump that said we need to have a space program so we can fight wars. Okay, go ahead.
I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord.
The Lord raised up the so-called white man as a top nation on the planet Earth, and now he's crumbling the so-called white man as we speak. Okay, his whole life, the so-called white man, he's all juiced out. He's on drugs now. Or his woman is going to the so-called black man. Or all the other nations are after him. They're taking up proverbs and bywords. Are saying destroy this damn devil, because he has went into all our countries and totally demoralized us. Totally devastated our infrastructure, totally devastated the morality of our people, or turned our women into sluts, or changed our eating habits. Now we're eating fast food. Now we're all bloated. Now we have inflammation. Okay, our minds are all messed up. Our cognition is all messed up, and we're not able to fight. That's what the so-called white man, the state that he wants you in. He wants you in a very low state because he's really weak. He's very weak. He can't fight you regular. So he has to demoralize you. He has to use psyops, psychological warfare. All right, he has to use a guerrilla warfare tactics. Okay, he has to destroy you by your food. Okay, he has to come in and take over your woman's mind. Or he has to come into your mind. That's the only way he can rule you. But now the Most High, he is waking us up. So now all those things, they're not penetrating us, man.
The dead body. We once were dead. Meaning we didn't know who we were as a people. We were mentally dead. The Heavenly Father brought that life upon us. That's why I tell you in Revelation, the 11th chapter, that great fear fell upon them when they seen the dead body awaken, talking about the elect, coming back to who we are as a people. We ain't niggas, we ain't spicks, we ain't wetbacks, black people, we're Israelites. Yasher Allah, the Prince of the Power, the Heavenly Father made this earth for our sakes. And all you nations were created to serve us. And it's going to go back to that way. Our people are in the ghettos catching hell because we sinned against the Most High. It's a punishment. But scripture say that we did the time. The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished. Yep. We did the time. It's over. Now it's time for you devils to go. Now you got to pay. You thought you just gonna fuck the whole earth up and ride off into the sunset. You gotta pay for your actions on the earth.
Yeah, Elon Musk, he wants to go to a different. He wants to go to Mars to escape another dark ages. Yeah. Meaning Jake's coming to power ship, man, coming into rulership. But this is going to be the last rulership. This is going to be the last rulership, man. There's going to be no more changes in power after this. Yep. All right, after we beat all the prophecy is that all the nations they should learn war no more. Yep. Okay, and that's going to be by the force of the sword. Yeah. All right, by the scepter. Okay, because we're gonna beat you nations in the powder.
We're gonna break your ass up, all right? We're gonna break it into you that you ain't shit, all right? We got Edomites right here want to listen in. You gonna hear your judgment too,
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sirach 10.
You done on that?
Just one more verse. Also Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished.
Yeah, you Edomites gonna be a desolation, man. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished. All right, go ahead.
And shall hiss at all the plagues thereof.
And hiss at all the plagues, just like how they hissed at all our plagues. Right? They're looking at, look at these niggas, man. Look, we got them. Look how low they are. But look at the so-called white man. Get the camera on the so-called white man. Look how low he is, man. Look at he's all messed up. Look at his face. He got cancer spots all over his face. Look, so-called black men are talking. He don't even want to say nothing. In the 60s, in the 50s, and the 40s, they would have hung us, man.
Oh, they would be through.
All right, we couldn't even walk on the same sidewalk as the so-called white man, but now look, he's through, he's done. All right, he's done, man. And all the nations, they're hissing at him, man. All right, and that's going to be fully manifested when the so-called white man is at the lowest, where he should be, okay, at the bottom. Lower than all the animals, lower than roaches, lower than ants. Because all those, when you go into the ecosystem, all those animals, they actually have a purpose. Esau, he has a purpose. His purpose is served.
To destroy.
And to destroy, but now he's going to be destroyed, so his purpose is going to be done away with.
Should have destroyed him that destroyed the earth. It's Sirach 10 and 7. Pride is hateful before the Most High, and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity.
Yeah, pride is hateful, and the so-called white man is the most powerful man on the planet because of his technology, because of his riches guided by the sea, because he was able to manipulate the minds of all the people. He was able to take down all the nations, man. And this man was actually in the cave, so he prides himself on that. Well, I'm a caveman, but I took down all the dark nations. Okay? Or I took down the Israelites. He boasts himself being able to take down the Israelites, man. Okay, when you read about the stories of King David and the mighty men, our men that were just slaying all type of men, we are great in stature, we have power, okay? Then he was able to take us down.
Yeah. They knew how they took us down. They said as long as, tell you that in the book of Judah, as long as we're not right with our power, they have
the fifth chapter,
yeah,
right?
The fifth chapter. They have a way to take us down. But if we serve the Most High, no other nation can come against us. So
That's
their
right.
whole goal is to set up the society to for you to go off, you know. Back in but because of unrighteous dealings,
Yeah, read that from the top.
Sirach 10 and 7, pride is hateful before the Most High, and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity.
And by both does one commit iniquity can continue.
Because of unrighteous dealings.
Because of unrighteous dealings. And that's the MO of the so-called white man, the modus operandi, which means the method of operation. What does he do? By unrighteous dealings. All right, by usury, okay? By pretty much lending to you money out of thin air and then charging you interest on it, okay? By pretty much making you a debt slave, okay? By making you live next to next, house to house to people, okay? By telling you that you got to deal with a woman that's already had multiple men, and you can't deal with a woman of marriageable age. That's looked down upon. Pretty much, wickedness is placed in front of righteousness. That's unrighteous, man. Go ahead.
It says injuries and riches got by deceit.
Injuries and riches got by deceit. How did the so-called white man get? How did he get this land? How did he get anything? By deceit, by the sword, by slaughter, by atrocities, okay, by deception, okay. Go ahead.
The kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Yeah, that's it, man. The kingdom is translated to one people to another, meaning it's trans meaning across, okay. The word, when you go into the etymology of the word trans mean across, so translating to us, man, okay. So now the rulership is going to be placed upon us, man. And now you have to go into captivity, okay? And you have to serve a rigorous bondage, okay? And we're not going to have any mercy on the old. We're not going to have any mercy on the young, okay? We're gonna totally destroy you, man, as a nation. You're gonna be a laughing stock. Can you get that? You have a precept. Can we get Isaiah the 14th chapter real quick, where it says, "Is this the man?"
Is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
Yeah, that made the earth to tremble, because this is the man who actually dropped nuclear missiles on people, man. And when they had no capability of fighting back, you still wanted to do it, man. All right, this is a man that actually puts he uses chemical warfare. Okay, you talking about the chemical weapons in Syria? Were you the main motherfucker throwing chemical weapons at us? All right, the food is chemical warfare. Okay, go ahead.
Want me to go straight to the point on
You
start up a little bit?
Yeah, start up a little bit.
Isaiah 14 and 4, that thou should take this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased?
Yeah, how have the oppressor ceased, man? That's what the proverb we're taking up right now. Okay? How did this devil, he was in the height of his kingdom. He had niggas under his feet, literally had niggas under his feet, Hispanics under his feet. You had no say so in a world step, and you had no say so in the world platform, man. your voice wasn't heard. Now Jake's voice is heard. Now everybody wants to be an Israelite. So how has the oppressor ceased, man? Go ahead.
How has the oppressor ceased and the golden city ceased?
How the golden city ceased, which is talking about Babylon the Great, which is talking about America. Okay, go ahead.
The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers.
Yeah, he's totally destroyed your power structure. All right, we were just talking about the bridge. The bridge broke down. All right, you got black and Hispanics rioting in the streets. All right, people calling you racist. All right, people calling you all these derogatory names. All right, bringing up your track record, how you put hell upon all the nations. Okay, you getting kicked out of South Africa. Okay, which through the spirit, a lot of them South Africans are Jakes, man. They went into that hardcore bondage, man. All right, but even so, if they're not, that's the nations rising up against you, man. Go ahead.
He who smote the people in wrath with the continual stroke.
And the so-called white man continually stroked the people with that wrath, man. Starting with our people. Go ahead.
He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted.
Yeah, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted. Okay? Because when you took us over, you did that, and you did that with hatred in your heart, man. Okay? Go ahead.
And none hindereth.
And none hindereth. So nobody stopped the so-called white man. Nobody came against the so-called white man when he was going around taking over all the dark nations. Okay? When we were in hardcore bondage, nobody came to our aid. Nobody was like, no, you can't do that, because he actually had the rulership of the whole planet Earth. All right, that was given to him for a particular time. Go ahead.
It says the whole earth is at rest.
The whole earth is at rest. Okay, this is a future prophecy. The whole earth is coming into a rest right now as we speak. Go ahead.
And it's quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the first sheep.
The whole earth is going to sing once the so-called white man is put into captivity. Because no longer the fish are not going to be afraid. The trees are not going to be afraid. The soil and the dirt itself is not going to be afraid.
Yeah, they're going to be able to do what they were created to do, you know? All the animals are going to be at rest. The crabs and shit, they're going to be able to clean the ocean, you know?
Yeah, and the earthworms. The earthworms are going to be, they're going to do what Yahweh created them to do, man. Okay? The bats in the cave, you go into the caves and you fucking dissect bats, man. You fucking devil. All right, the bats can't even do what they're supposed to do. Go ahead.
The whole earth is at rest.
So the whole earth is going to be at rest once you get put down. Once you get put in the place that you're supposed to be. Lower than all the creatures, all right? Being a base man that you are, being a vile man that you are. Go ahead.
And it's quiet, they break forth into singing.
Yeah, break forth into singing, man. And we're going to be singing. We're gonna be singing about the downfall of America. Okay, we're going to have holidays about the downfall of this place being destroyed. Jeremiah the 16th chapter. Okay, go ahead.
Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us.
Yeah, there's deforestation is not going to be implemented anymore. Okay, you just cutting down trees and then charging people for oak, charging people for cedar, marking the prices 500%, 600%, 700%. Okay, that's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to profit off the earth anymore and destroy it at the same time. Go ahead.
Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming.
That's right.
It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
That's the point. Read that point again.
All they that speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
Yeah, have thou also become weak as we. All right, because you're coming into a weak state right now, man. You're scrambling. You're trying to finesse your way out of these different nuclear deals. You're trying to be cool with Russia now, and it's not happening. Go ahead.
It says, art thou become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? The pump is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. The worms is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee.
Yeah, just go to the point. Yeah, just go to the point. Yeah.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
Talking about the so-called white man being a light bearer of this world. We read in Job the 18th chapter about the light of the wicked being put out. Okay, go ahead.
Son of the morning.
Son of the morning, go ahead.
How art thou cut down to the ground which didst weaken the nations?
Go ahead.
For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven.
Is this the man? Is that it? We already read it?
We already read that.
Okay, yeah. So pretty much, we're gonna end the lesson on that. Pretty much, the Babylon is crumbling. The whole from the top to the bottom, the whole head is sick. Okay, Just like our whole head was sick, but now the Lord. He's putting those body parts together, and then at the same time, He's changing everything up, man. Now all the curses are falling upon you, so-called white people. All right, your woman's leaving you. Okay, you have conflict between even other Edomite nations. Okay, you're suffering from genocide. All right, the South Africans are taking a parable against you. The food that you eat is messing you up. You are done on that?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, that was it on that. So, we want to give all praise, honor, glory to
Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai,
Bashem,
Ruach HaKodesh.
Double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone, and peace and blessings to Akim out there. Shalom. Death to America.
Shalom.
That's the nigga one.
That's to the nigga.